Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
The holiday season is nearly upon us, and the holidays are all about friends and family. So we're kind of having our own Friendsgiving episode of the show today. At least we are with this segment, because nice enough to join us. Saw him in the parking lot. He's running around. He's got so much to do. Hey, could you pop on the show today? Sure, Whitey. Frankie Cartoscelli.
Yeah.
How are you, Frankie?
Let's go.
I was trying to get away. You guys found me. No, I'm,
Gotcha.
as Alan Styles, so, nice guy, Alan.
He is a nice guy.
I'm on with him a lot. So
Yeah.
I don't think you should be complaining a little bit, but I'm here on this fine holiday week just to take care of some stuff and from the behind the scenes aspect of things, and popped in to say hi to Alan, and didn't think I was going to get in trouble with him, but happy to be here with you guys to talk about a very, very happy topic, which is Kings basketball.
Yeah,
I know.
Truth be told, I happened to hear Alan complaining about you not coming on as I pulled into the parking lot. And as I pulled in, Frankie was talking to Kayla. So I said, Frankie, you got to come on our show. And Kayla's like, oh, yeah. Just to irritate Alan was the only thing.
Oh, and a lot less would irritate him. A lot less will irritate him. Love you, Alan. Love you, man.
Alan to get under his skin is so fun because he just plays along. But if you were, I don't know if you were watching when we announced it, during the crosstalk, but the face says it all. Yeah. Alan's face will say it all.
Frankie, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be listening.
Yeah.
I'll be listening.
His face can't just write a story. It can write a series of novels.
There it is.
Just the reactions are a lot. But Alan, I'll talk to you next week when we get back on the round table. We'll take a week off. I was just saying, I haven't been on with you yet during the season.
I know.
But also, I don't know what we would talk about as much as hasn't been talked about already, because it's pretty bleak right now, but we'll see what we can do.
What kind of atmosphere do you expect in there tonight? Who knows, but what's your expectation?
I don't know. It was something we were talking about, all the media, on Media Row. We were talking about how we were worried about, what's it going to be like if that losing streak would have kept going on. And one win helps. I was just kind of digging and finding that this is the third longest that this team has gone in the Sacramento era without winning back-to-back games.
Wow.
17, earning game 18 tonight. But it was, I think, 33 games in the inaugural 85-86 season. 17 games, I think.
Wow, and that was a playoff team.
That was the team that ended up making the playoffs. They went 0-3 against the Rockets in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 1985-86, 33 games it took to win consecutive games. 96-97, 27, and then this year 17. So third most. And, I think the atmosphere will be interesting. I think that fans will be there. I'm not sure. I don't think it's been a sellout really for a couple of games now.
You got the 49ers tonight?
You have Niners. You have the fact that this team hasn't won, I think, a home game since the Warriors, which was, I don't even know how long ago that was.
It's the first, I feel it was the first or second week.
I think it was 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
But the Kings fans are passionate, and I think they'll continue to show up. I think we know. I went to games in high school. Me and my buddies, we buy $10, $12 tickets. They're not $10, $12 anymore. Ooh. But we'd buy $10, $12 tickets and sit in the nosebleeds when they're going to get 20-pieced, and we'd watch Boogie score 35, and that was kind of the highlight. So sad that that's kind of the thing that they're back to right now is let's see if this ex-player can have a good night and be entertaining. But I think Alan put it, not to start this off on a completely negative note, but Alan kind of equated it to Sutter Health Park and the A's, how
I heard that.
People would go to watch the A's games, to go see the Aaron Judges, and Ohtani comes next year, but players of that caliber, we don't want to see the Kings get to that point where let's go see Anthony Edwards play tonight. Let's go see LeBron's coming, Luka's coming. Get back to being competitive, and I think that playing competitive basketball will reinvigorate the franchise or the fan base specifically. But the players as well. You hope win back-to-back games, get a little bit of steam, and you have a little mini homestand, and the schedule does get easier. They have the easiest range at the schedule in the NBA. So not to put on the optimism hat now and just turn things around completely, but I think being competitive will translate to the crowd.
Did you, in terms of Saturday's game, were you surprised, first of all, with the outcome? And to you, what was the biggest difference maker in that game?
Surprised, I don't know. It's hard because I think we all have seen the Kings play multiple games when they're facing a back-to-back or they have injuries, and Denver's a team that's on a back-to-back. They were traveling, they faced injuries, so I kind of felt better about it, I guess, more optimistic than usual. So surprised, not really. If Denver didn't play the day before, maybe I'd be like, okay, no excuses there. But I did like what I see as far as having Keegan kind of back in the fold and having him play that regular what was it, 35, 36 minutes he played, I think. He knocked down some threes. I think he had 19 points. Just seeing him look comfortable again and be back out there, that to me I like to see. I think a lot of Kings fans can attest to the fact that you want to see Keegan, Neat Clifford, those young guys kind of play more.
Maxime Moreno.
Maxime Moreno. And then, of course, we have Keon getting a DNP CD.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
we'll see how that goes tonight, but I figured at some point that was going to happen. Keegan would come back and players would get lost in the shuffle. So I like seeing Keegan back there nonetheless and watching what he can bring. There's no one really on this Kings roster who can bring what he can. And you look at tonight like a Jaden McDaniels in Minnesota. That's kind of like, Keegan's kind of like that guy for the Kings. Maybe not as good, maybe better. That's up for you to decide. But they've lacked that versatility of having a player who can defend. I think Keegan can really defend 1 through 5, even though he doesn't want to defend center, as he said before. But having someone who can bring that physicality and just that kind of interchangeability is huge.
The Kings could use some size. And speaking of, the most recent picture I saw of your son, is he a monster or something? He's huge.
How old is he?
He's 10 months, and he's I think he's like 26, 27 pounds right now. I don't know. It's not from me.
He is a big son of a gun.
Mom and I are both, we're small. I'm about 5'8". Mom's about 5'3". But
and he looks like he knows it too. He's kind of got that. Yeah, what about it? Look.
Yeah. I'm hoping he can, get past the. Just be dad. Just be dad. Be above 5'8", and I'll be happy. But
5'9", 5'10".
He's that'd be great. He's measuring out really well though. We keep taking him places though, and people are like, "Oh my God, how old is he? Like, is he like a year and a half?" I'm like, "No, he's 10 months. He's our first. He doesn't skip meals, and
there it is.
His mom's a professor of nutrition, and she has a real calculated. She makes all his food, and we don't miss the bottles. It's all new to us, but he's
solid.
He's a big guy.
Yeah,
He looks like he's trying to be on the line for the Niners or something.
I was just going to say, they could use one.
They could use him.
He's a little young, but they do need some help.
Put a call into Roger Goodell and say,
so.
can you, I think he can take it. I see him.
I think he could.
He's starting to try to stand up. He's bouncing back from the little bumps and bruises they get, and he's a bruiser. We look at him like he's a little running back. So
I like that.
But yeah, man, he's growing.
What's going on with Keon? I ask you because you were the first that I saw at SactownSports.com. You said, maybe Keon, this was weeks ago, you suggested maybe Keon would be used as a sweetener in a deal. I had not considered that. When I first read that, it sent shivers down my spine because the further and further we go with this, the more and more to me it looks like, ooh, that may exactly be what's up with Keon.
It makes too much sense, I think. And I think that's the sad part of where the Kings are and how Scott Perry comes in. He has no affinity with any player on this roster, I don't think. I don't think there's anyone that he didn't draft anybody except Neat Clifford in Maxime Moreno. He's fully coming in as someone who has not attached to the Beam Team year or the memories that have happened over the past couple of years. Strictly business, all transactional, and I think that Keon Ellis is an asset, someone who's on a very cheap deal, going to be a free agent. The Kings had their chance to decline his option and extend him, and they didn't do it in the summer. They still can in February, I think. They can open back up those talks, but will he be here in February? That's the main question. And when you're looking at upgrading this current roster from an asset standpoint, you have Keegan Murray, who now is on a large extension, though, so that kind of diminishes that value a little bit. Plus, he's a player that we've all heard, and it's not really secret. Right. The Kings want to keep Keegan Murray, and they'll do everything they can to keep him.
And they couldn't trade him now if they wanted.
No, probably not. I mean, super unlikely.
Because of his contract,
Super unlikely.
Yeah.
I think he goes from making $9-10 million to I think $27 or $28 million next year. That's a player the Kings should keep around. Granted, but is Keon a player the Kings should keep around? I think that argument is there as well. And that's why I kind of look at it as Scott Perry, I think the positive side of me is thinking maybe he likes what Keon does already, and he kind of knows that's the kind of guy that we kind of need. And I got to figure out how to get these other guys situated out, like the DeRozans and the Westbrooks and the Levines, and there's not enough minutes to go around for all of these guards. So with Keon Ellis, it's more of, can he stick around past the deadline and survive all this overhaul? Or is he someone that, the Clippers call about DeMar DeRozan or someone else calls about Zach LaVine or Sabonis and says, we'll take on this contract and the remaining guaranteed deal, but maybe throw in the Keon Ellis as well. Mm-hmm. Every team can use an interchangeable guard who can knock down threes at a 40% clip or better. And I think Keon is someone that we look at. I think Dave equated him to Lou Dort, which I've done over the last couple of years, that the Kings could use like a Lou Dort, a guy who's just going to be physical on the defensive end and knock down the open look. And that's what Keon is. And I feel like that the Kings really shouldn't turn their nose up at that, because I don't know how many impact defenders the Kings have had. I don't remember any off the top of my head over the past 10-plus years going back to the Doug Christie era when he was their main defender. And they've been really lacking that. And I think even in the mid-2010s, they were rolling out not Jason Anderson from the B, which I call it James Anderson. James Anderson was starting at the 2 guard because I think George Karl liked the physicality he brought, and they've been looking for it for a long time. So having Keegan and Keon, having Devin Carter, who is also getting DNP CDs, those are the players I feel like that would fit the mold of what Scott Perry is looking for, which is why I think maybe those guys will play more if they're not moved because the logjam will be cleared up.
Man, and you got to be a good sport to have that. I mean, just to be sitting there. But that's what the business part about it is. You have to understand. What we don't really understand, and we've had this discussion real quick, is Zach LaVine. I mean, I know that we've alluded to maybe the back being an issue, but I'm not one to make a ton of excuses. Like, if you're out there, if they're putting you out there, like, you are expected to pretty much do what you need to do. And he's just been so inconsistent past those 6 games to start the season. Almost
like he's being passive.
Yeah.
And I feel like the aggression's not there. And a lot of people on social media point out how Zach LaVine, he no-shows in big games. And the Kings don't really have, I was telling my wife, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a weird feeling. There's not really any quote-unquote big games coming up where any stakes are on the line or anything. Well, last year coming down to the play-in push or playoff push, whatever you want to call it, Zach LaVine had a couple rough games. He had a big one in Detroit. He tore apart the Spurs, and I think the Hornets, he had a big game, and then fell flat in every other big game, including the play-in. So this year so far, when he takes over 15 field goal attempts in a game, which is an 8, which is I think that's half the game so far, he's missed a couple, but when he takes over 15 field goal attempts per game, he's averaging 30 points per game on 54% from the field, 44% from 3. That's 71 attempts from 3 over those 8 games. So the volume, when it's there, the results are there. But it's just not. And this year, he's averaging 15 field goal attempts per game, which is his least since the 2017-18 season. So I think it's as simple as probably get more looks, take more shots. But it's hard to do that when you play in this offense where I think everyone keeps saying it's your turn, my turn. And I'm going to say it again. It's like a your turn, my turn offense where you have DeMar DeRozan taking a midi. Zach LaVine really is more of a self-creator. He can't really – when Sabonis is out there, he does a good job coming off the dribble handoffs and kind of just off-ball movement. But really, he's a step into it kind of shooter and kind of self-creator. And he kind of simply has to just be more – show more of initiative to score. And that's if the Kings, again, are trying to win basketball games, right? Now, if you're in the camp of, yeah, this is fine, let's see what happens with in the draft pick, sure, let them keep doing what they're doing. But from a value standpoint, too, if Zach LaVine's saying, hey, I want to play for this team and get moved at the deadline and they can restructure his contract or what have you, he's got to boost those numbers up a little bit and get back to, like you said, the first 6 games where he was, I think, averaging around 30 a game. Yeah. So, like I pointed out to you, when he's shooting 15 or more a game, the numbers say he's scoring 30 points per game, and it definitely feels that way.
Well, Frankie, we look forward to more of your outstanding coverage of the Kings, and thanks for all you do for the Sactown Sports. You run the website, do a great job. We appreciate it.
I know. He's a rock star. I hunted him down in the parking lot. I'm like, tell me all the stuff you do, because I was like just trying to learn all about, all the things they do, because they're everywhere.
I'm just grateful to work with you guys, man. You make it easy. You and Dave and Jason and who is the other show here?
Chris Verlaud, are you thinking of?
Yeah, I think Verlaud. Oh, yeah. There's another show somewhere. I can't remember who the host is.
The one before us.
Yeah.
Oh, you're thinking of Kyle Ledbetter.
That's right, Ledbetter. Oh, he's great. Great guy. But,
thanks, Frankie.
Thanks for having me.
Here's the part of the Brandon Ayuk situation that almost nobody is talking about. That's next, Sactown Sports.
When I asked Scott Lucky